Hi everyone, Okami here today with a tutorial of how to paint metals and fur using inks. Now metals and fur are those two parts of some miniatures that aren't like 90% of them. Like when you're painting Skavens or Beastmen, they are a lot of the surface that you have to paint, and therefore inks are going to be tremendously useful to paint this miniature. In order to teach you how to do this, I'm going to continue painting my giants, which I need for a tournament this Saturday, and I don't want to bring those miniatures to paint. So I'm going to focus on them, and I have to finish them in 2 days. So inks are going to help me to achieve that, even with big miniatures like this one. But if I didn't use inks, it would take like 2 weeks. So it's a really good idea that you use inks and washes. And today, since we are going to focus on metals, we need to paint those first of all. The first thing that we're going to learn how to paint are the metallic parts, okay? For the metallic parts, I'm going to use 4 different colors. I'm going to use this one as a base color, Citadel Lead Belcher, and then I'm going to use Iron Breaker and Runefang Steel. And then I'm also going to use some Gehenna's Gold, and this is going to be for some kind of jewelry and things like that. Now, since this technique is all about saving time, what I do is just get the paint from the pot straight away, not getting it out of it, because I don't want to mix or anything, and I just go straight away into the miniature, find the places that I want to paint. So it's a really good idea that you do the metallic parts before anything else, so you can be comfortable by painting, and if you make any mistakes you can fix them real easy just by painting white once again. And now that the metallics have been painted, what we're gonna do is we're gonna start using the inks, the washes. Now remember, the only thing that I've done right now is paint this, okay, the base coat of Lead Belcher and the base coat of Gehenna's Gold. And after that, we're gonna start doing this here. So we need to paint some of the parts like in leather, the wood as well, the metals, and everything is going to be done with this freaking awesome wash. So we're gonna start with this guy here, okay? He's got a huge wooden club, and of course that needs to be painted wood. So what we're gonna do is just get that wash, okay? Set up in step here and just go ahead and put as much as you want on it. Just spread it nicely and even. I'm gonna leave some of these parts, like these ones here, as if they were moss, but the rest of it, I don't care. I'm just gonna put as much of a wash as I can. There is no finesse required for this technique. Just go, dab, spread, go, dab, spread. The wood on the barrel, wood and ropes. Well, seem pretty awesome to me to be using this, so let's do it. You see this is the reason why this pot is already so empty. I just use so much of this ink because it's great. It is not too dark that it will cover too many details whenever you're painting, and it's so neutral that it can be used for a variety of things, ranging from all the ones that we're painting today, metals and fur and leather, but also, as you can see, I'm gonna use it in some clothing to make it look like it's been weathered down and battered and heavily used. And I'm not afraid to put as much as I want on it, because you can always work on top of this. These nails right here, the toenails here, they were primed white like the rest of the miniature. The only thing that I did is put a drop of this wash, okay, as opposed to here where there is nothing on them. This is just a drop of it, and what you do is just this, you just put some of it on top on each one of them, and bam, you got a distinctive yellowish, really ugly looking but great for this miniature toenails. Disgusting. And it just took one drop of ink, nothing else. Whereas if I was painting these differently, it would take me like 3 or 4 layers of different paints. So we're repeating the process, just putting this wash all over the place, in the rugs, the leather, all those places that I haven't painted yet. And
this base is gonna be combined with other inks and other paints to make the miniatures look great. You'll see. Well, I'm gonna try to finish this as fast as possible. There is not much left to it, and just go ahead and darken some of the areas, which brings us to the next step with Agrax Earthshade. For this step, after the Seraphine Sepia has dried, I'm gonna use Agrax Earthshade, which is a great ink as well. It's much darker than the previous one, and therefore it has to be used afterwards. Remember, when we paint with washes and inks, we start from clear to dark. That's a really important part of it. Alright, we're gonna do everything, metals as well. Everything. Because what we're looking at is creating an effect that makes the metal heavily used look like as if it had been heavily used. Gold as well, it will look old and you know, dirty. What you decide to darken or not is up to you. I recommend doing wood and metals, both gold and silvery metals. Okay, really important that you do this on the silvery ones because you want them to look, in this case, heavily used. Same thing here. Inks, washes, metals, some parts like leather, this satchel. Careful now. So you see, I'm not painting as much as I'm just dabbing the brush and pushing the paint into the places that I want it to go. And that's how you do it here. You're staining the miniature, you're not painting, you're staining it. You're staining and staining until you get the desired results. And the technique is based basically on both the type of stains that you're using and the order that you are using them. Flash wash, and I'm just painting the sandals, and as you can see, it's just tremendously easy. Just put some ink and put it on these things. Well, you have to be careful, of course, not to stain the rest of the miniature, but you get so cool highlights, and it's just putting the ink. You don't even need to worry about being careful on the inside of it. I mean, as long as you don't stain the other parts of the miniature, you're good to go. Alright, for this one, the one and only brown ink. This is dark. This is really dark. I mean, it's a few steps shy from being quite black. So in here I'm gonna use it for this horn. I want to make sure that this side of it is completely dark because it's gonna be the interior, and I'm just gonna put some ink in there, some in here, and I'm gonna pick up some of the details here and there and make them dark. A little bit more here and there. Let's make some of these things stand out, feel old and abused. This satchel as well, this small bag, I'm gonna paint it this color. I want it to look old as crap. And that is going to be it. That's it. I'm just gonna wet my brush a little bit so it gives the ink a more liquid consistency, and just instead of cleaning it onto a piece of paper, I'm just gonna clean it on the whole. Now I'm using the brown ink here to create some shading between the cloth and the leg, so accentuate that a little bit more here, and go through the teeth and just put a little bit more, maybe the eyes. There you go. Got a small keg of Bookman or whatever. I want it to look made of old wood, old hardwood. Another thing that you can use the brown ink for is to paint boundaries. And so I'm painting these so in order to make the boundaries between these squares a little bit more solid. Also some stains here and there. There you go. And you see these small ones that this guy has. You can use these to create small, like, blood stains coming down from those. He's got plenty of them, so you can always go and put some blood stains on that. Bam. Alright, not bad. Let's paint these belts and get to the next step. Since we have done everything with the inks that we wanted to do so far, what we're going to do now is finish with metals. What we're gonna do now is highlight, and for that we're gonna start with Iron Breaker, and this is only for the silver part. If we did some Gehenna's Gold, we're gonna highlight again with Gehenna's Gold. So the highlights now are Iron Breaker and Gehenna's Gold. First thing that you have to do is get a nice brush. The one that I used before for me is perfect, but depending on the quality of the one that you use for the inks, you might want to choose another one. And put some paint on it, okay? And my technique is real simple. I go around the piece that I want to paint, and I just do lines like that. And this is all around the piece itself. The paint has to be rather solid. The metallics do not work as well if they are mixed with water, so the more solid it is, the better. What I want to do is, in this place where his knee will make contact with any surface, make sure that he gets some of the lighter metallic tone, as if to show that the grime and rust have been removed by the continuous use of said surface. Repeat on every single part of the giant or the miniature that you painted, and then we'll get to the next color. The trick here is not to overdo the highlights. We want the metal to look old, rusty and battered. You go back and forth and just check that every crevice, every part of the miniature that you wanted to touch is touched. Put some gold in the gold parts so they don't go that dark, and I just need a pure amount of gold here and there. Alright, that's it. We're going to use a little bit of Nuln Oil, and that's because I think some of the metals need to be darker. In this case, I'm gonna do that to the frying pan, and maybe put a little bit here in the eyes, preparing them for afterwards when I will paint them. Some details. More. Here and there. Why not? More tones, more details. This one here. Let's make sure that everything is the way I want it to look like. I like boundaries between different colors. That is looking absolutely fantastic now. And the same thing, let's prepare the eyes for later. Real fine still. Last highlight of the metals. As you can see, it's a really light metallic, so we're gonna use it sparingly in some of the parts of the miniatures, not much of it. We are not trying to make them look clean, we're trying to make them look old and battered, but this is something that will give it an extra bit of volume. Just a little bit on the spikes, because they're the ones that are going to be the most abused, so we're going to highlight that. There you go. metallics with inks and leather and some kind of fur as well. Okay, just use combination of inks. Wood works the same, combination of inks. If it's well sculpted, it will hold great.
I hope you find the tutorial useful. If you want to see more videos about how to paint miniatures with watches and get your army ready as soon as possible, please subscribe and leave a comment below. It helps a lot. Thank you for watching. Have a great day.